Welcome to Turn the Page with Esther Grit. So let's go. As a recreational fitness enthusiast, I'm seeking ways to optimize my sports performance. I've always been curious about my metabolism and how many calories I burn at rest. I'm intrigued to find out if there is much of a difference between calculating RMR using basic equations, so the equations that you can find when you Google, or even the BMR calculators that you find through websites. Also the comparison from my Garmin, which is most probably going to show a moderate underestimation, I'm presuming. So the only way I can really be sure is to use sports science. Therefore, I am going to get an RMR test, RMR, which stands for resting metabolic rate. And this test is going to measure energy expenditure from breath. So this should show a true reflection of how many calories I'm burning at rest. Then from this test, it should be able to estimate how many calories I can be eating on an active day. And so that is probably the main reason why I want to get this test done. I really need to know if I'm underfueling or overfueling. I have a feeling I'm overfueling because I have quite a big appetite. And from the first chapter, aka the first video, where I get a DEXA scan and VO2 max, in the body composition, I weigh 61 kilos. I've actually put on an extra kilo since that scan. The scan was done about 3 weeks ago. So I am hoping that it is muscle that I've put on. Not that I'm too concerned about fat. But I would rather it be muscle than fat. But I have to admit, I am an intuitive eater. I don't weigh my meals. Maybe that's something I need to incorporate into my program, but I just don't like to restrict anything. I eat what I want, and when my stomach is growling, then I eat. So this will be a really good way to find out how many calories I burn at rest, and yeah, maybe I'm underfueling, but I have a feeling I could be overfueling, or it could be muscle. I hope it's muscle. I really hope it's muscle. So let's get this test done.
Yeah, why do you want to measure your RMR?
I'm doing HYROX. I'm doing a lot of exercise at the moment, and I want to know how much I should be eating.
Yeah.
So I'm curious just to know how well this works.
Yeah.
And then also to further my training and how much I should eat, because with recovery, there's weeks where I'm just
exhausted.
I'm done.
So basically what we'll be doing is, the most uncomfortable part of this whole thing is this mouthpiece. So have you ever been snorkeling before?
I have, yeah.
It's the same thing. The only annoying thing about it is you're gonna have kind of your head is kind of, you're gonna have your neck a little bit elevated, but you're kind of just gonna be lying down for 30 minutes.
Okay.
With this in your mouth. Yeah, so we'll take your height and your weight, we'll pop those in, and then I will probably stay around for the first 5 minutes to kind of see how you're doing.
Yeah, obviously it will tell me how much I'm going to be burning when I'm resting, but then how does that help me if I'm doing workout sessions and training?
I guess what it tells you is how much your body needs to do the bare minimum. And obviously if you've got more maybe like lean muscle tissue, you've got more you're eating enough protein, you've got more lean muscle tissue, your resting metabolic rate might be a bit higher than others. And so basically it kind of just tells you what you need bare minimum, and then on top of that you can add how many calories you're actively burning throughout the day to figure out like a more accurate idea of your like daily energy expenditure. A lot of the time people do tend to overestimate or underestimate their resting metabolic rate, and it's obviously the like larger portion of you know, your energy expenditure, just because it's like all the energy your body needs to just kind of like do its thing. And then on top of that, I know like it might be like an extra 700, 800 depending on your calories that you're burning, but you'll be able to find that out through things like VO2 max tests and stuff like that.
Why did I have to fast?
So fasting, so all this sort of stuff, so fasting, I mean eating food and like caffeine and stuff, that basically just kickstarts all your energy systems into motion, so it's not really resting.
Yeah, okay.
And it sucks. And yeah, it's the same with like if you've done exercise super recently. So when was the last time you did a workout?
Yesterday morning.
Amazing, perfect. Because like even if you do it in the evening, your body's still kind of elevated. Your metabolism is like elevated for at least like 12 hours.
Yeah, cool.
So cool, we'll get straight into it. It's a super comfy bed.
Oh yes, it is.
Yeah, so it's gonna actually be a challenge to not fall asleep the whole time. Are you claustrophobic or anything?
No.
Okay, cool. So you reckon you'll be okay with this?
Yeah.
Sweet. I'll be in here for the first like 5 minutes, just kind of being very like silent in the corner.
Okay.
But just let me know. I'll kind of check in on you. Just be like, I'll be like, are you good? And instead of talking, you're just gonna go like this or like this.
That or that.
Yeah.
Okay, easy.
And I'll just do that every about 5 to 10 minutes.
This is probably comfier than my bed at home.
It's so comfy. It's like the physio, I think there's specialist mattresses that you can get fittings done for. I know.
It feels just like I'm on a cloud. Because I've usually got lower back problems and it just, I can't even feel my lower back problem.
So good. So good. Alright, I'll get you to pop this on and then we can just kind of adjust. So just as you would in the snorkel. Oh, before you pop it in, sorry. Sorry. You will feel a little bit of negative pressure in your throat.
Okay.
Just because that's kind of what a snorkel does.
Yep.
In that case, that does tend to create a little bit of saliva. Just this thing over here is a saliva catcher, so it'll do its job.
Ew.
I know. It'll just kind of go and maintain it. It is just the most annoying part of the test.
Okay.
That's just about it, really.
So this is going to be more accurate than manually calculating it?
Yeah, because what we're doing is basically we're finding out how much oxygen you're breathing in and how much carbon dioxide you're breathing out. And that ratio gives us like a good indication of whether your body's using fats or carbs. And using that, we can kind of figure out exactly what your metabolic rate is.
Oh,
it's
so
like pretty much gold standard.
That will also tell me what I should be eating more of?
No, not really, because I think that's whether your body's using fats or carbs is different to what you should eat.
Okay.
Because that's just kind of how your body decides what energy system to use.
Yeah.
So if you're super chill and you're not really doing much, your body will tend to use fats to break down to use for energy, just because it's a slower breakdown process.
Yeah.
Once your body starts requiring more energy, usually when you're getting in like during high intensity exercise or just with higher intensity of anything, your body will choose carbs because it's faster to break down.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what we can figure out.
Okay.
Yeah. Sweet.
Okay.
So whenever you're ready. How's that?
Mm-hmm.
Easier?
Oh,
cool. Alright, we'll wait for this to go down and then I'll start the timer once I can get the first reading. I'll get you to pop the nose clip on now. You can breathe in and out through the snorkel, all that's working fine. Get that on first. Nice. Thumbs up, thumbs down, you can breathe. Cool. Yeah, that's going down. Sweet. Just close the lights. Sweet. You did it, so that's good. It's
okay,
done.
that's
You can eat
good.
now as well.
Also, my stomach was growling the whole
Yeah.
time. So I've received my results and I'm really surprised because my Garmin isn't far off. My Garmin says 1564 and then the report that I got from the RMR test is 1569. So very, very close in terms of how many calories I burn at rest. So Garmin, not too bad at all, I must say. Then there is also the BMR calculator that you can get from websites. If you just Google the equation but I found that to be quite low, so definitely underestimates the calories that I burn at rest. I believe that came up to 1,514. So the next part of working out my calories on an active day, it really boils down to gut instincts, literally, because you really have to have a sense of self when it comes to your own body and that intuitiveness of, am I eating the right types of foods? Are the foods that I'm eating actually healthy for me? I have to admit, I am somebody that is really into French patisserie pastries, so I am a massive culprit in indulging in the sweeter things in life. I know that when I eat it, that the potential of it turning into fat is highly probable. I think at this stage, HYROX is in the next 5 weeks. So I am probably not going to put myself in a calorie deficit. I'm going to continue eating the foods that I eat because I definitely don't think that I'm under fueling. I do find that there are days where I'm fatigued, but that's usually on days of recovery. So when I'm actually doing the training, or if I increase the intensity of the training session, I find I get more energy as opposed to feeling fatigued at the end of it. It's usually the next day. And also I have a slight injury, which is another chapter, but I have noticed since the injury, definitely feeling a lot more fatigued the next day. What's really important as well is recovery days. So making sure that you're eating extra calories on your recovery days as opposed to eating, I guess, the calories that you're given as a baseline for if you weren't having an active day at all. So the estimated total daily expenditure that was recommended as a baseline, I'll emphasize that, a baseline. Moderately active, non-physical job but perform 1 structured exercise session per day. That's probably what I would normally do. That is 2,197 to 2,510 calories. I think I'm pretty on point with that. Without having weighed my food and knowing macros, I do think that's relatively around, I'm completely eyeballing it. Perform structured exercise, work in a low activity job, but train twice per day. I do tend to either go for a run in the morning, or I might have a cardio fit session, go to work, and then afterwards I would go to the gym and do isolation exercises. So for that type of day, 2,510 to 2,824 calories. Obviously, the interpretation of the RMR test is based on me, my size, my height, my weight, being a female. It's not going to be the same for everybody. I'm also comparing it with my VO2 max. So my VO2 max was 50.8. So that means I can eat a bit more. Do I think this test is worthwhile? Personally, yes, I do, for myself, for my own well-being, and for me to know, because I've always wanted to know. And I've never, I'm always really dubious about wearing a watch because it's not inside my internal intestines. So you just kind of think, how does it know everything? But I mean, look, that's not to say that the Garmin is accurate. It's a baseline, just like the RMR test is a baseline. The hardest part of the RMR test is fasting. So if you are to get the test, you'd want to get it done in the morning. The earliest I could get was 10:30. So that was tough for me. And the report was a little late. Well, I received it later than what I was told. And that had something to do with the machine picking up noise in the background. I'm quite sure the noise was my stomach growling. 100% sure it was my stomach growling. So yeah, I think try to get it done first thing in the morning. I still think this is beneficial. I'm glad that I got the test done, even though it was probably more uncomfortable than the VO2 max test that I had done with that mask restricting my breath. And yeah, I had a lot of fun. But yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give me a thumbs up, a like, and comment, subscribe if you want to see more of these videos. I hope you like them. I hope you subscribe. I hope you comment. And would you get an RMR test? Or do you think it's a waste of time? Let me know in the comments below. I still don't have any. So remember, keep turning those pages, and I'll see you in the next chapter.